You gonna give me some trouble, big boy? Or are you gonna channel that famous Amish serenity?
I don't know what happened with Duncan Jones' Mute for Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive movie. I was looking forward to Mute because I was a big fan of Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal, but a major fan of Moon. Mute is a little hard to take. The main character is Mute, played by Alexander Skarsgård, who is solid. I mean, he's got to emote through his eyes, and he's writing down things as quickly as possible. And he's solid, and he has this love affair that goes horribly wrong, and he meets these really creepy dudes in Paul Rudd and in Justin Theroux. But really, Alexander Skarsgård is kind of left to his own devices in this thing, and he's just sort of beaten around by characters and the over-the-top kind of super green screen scenery that's all over the place. We don't really get to see too much of Alexander Skarsgård's ability to craft a great character because he's mute. He can't talk through this whole thing.
Sure you want our help with this?
Now, Paul Rudd and Justin Theroux play a couple of ex-military guys that have a really twisted relationship, and they do very twisted things. Both of them are evil and awful in their own right, and they kind of cancel themselves out. There's a charm that they each have that's, I think, evident in just these actors and these human beings, and that comes through on screen like it always does. They have charm and charisma, but they're kind of playing, I guess, two sides of the same coin, but as performers, they're so similar in a lot of ways that I feel like the casting could have been a little bit more exciting here, even though it's great to see these familiar actors, these big-name actors that we've seen in lots of good things. They do become redundant, which is kind of crazy.
No soda.
I'm not really taken along for the ride in this crazy dystopia that's crafted for me. It just doesn't feel authentic. There's some great ideas in here, and I love this sort of sliver of Blade Runner aesthetic, but the overall film feels kind of half done. It feels like the effects aren't very good, and it doesn't really transport you into this universe effectively because you feel like the budgets were slashed or something halfway through. I felt like, wow, this thing just doesn't have the gas, man. And I felt bad for Duncan Jones because this guy is a solid filmmaker, but for some reason it just doesn't pack a huge wallop. Maybe this is something that I come to appreciate over time, and I have a feeling that this will become kind of a cult movie. I don't know if it'll ever be a successful movie. I think that critically it's getting slammed, and I've got a lot of friends that are into the same kinds of sci-fi stuff that I am, and nobody is really hyped on it right now, but maybe over time this is something that people will appreciate a little bit more. I definitely feel the labor of love in this thing. It's a packed film. Like, there's a lot of little pieces in here. I just didn't enjoy it. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I just didn't enjoy my time with Mute, and as a Duncan Jones fan, I was really, frankly, disappointed. So I'm gonna give Mute a 5 out of 10.